minutes away from beginning our meeting. Before we begin, I'd invite everybody to stand and join me in the pledge, and then Rex Bailey will bring the invocation. Thank you, Rex. We will, I'll call to order this regular meeting of the Springdale City Council. This is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. And we'll start things off by our city clerk calling the roll. Here. 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 All right, everybody's here. Council, before we roll into our citizens' comments, I ask you to allow me to add one thing to the agenda, and it'll be sometime during this first package. Matt, oh, okay, she's here, I see. Probably right after procedural motions, before we get into some of the presentations we've got, I'd like to have your permission to go ahead and read this proclamation and bring Anna Grace up, and we'll do that. We'll do that at the podium here in just a few minutes. I'll ask you when to come up. Okay? Everybody okay with that? It got left off the agenda, and we're going to make it right. We had it all ready. We just didn't get it on the agenda. Thank you. We're at item 4 on the agenda. This is the portion of the agenda that the council sets aside each regular meeting to hear comments from our citizens. If there are any comments you'd like to make, we ask that you come to the podium, clearly state your name and address. Please keep your comments brief and understand that the council won't take action tonight on whatever it is you bring forward. But so is there anyone who would like to address the council concerning an item that is not already on tonight's agenda? Come right on up.
Thank y'all for letting me speak this evening. My name is Elizabeth Caldwell. I'm a 30-year plus Springdale resident. My question is, and it's probably already been addressed because I saw signs that there were public meetings regarding the intersection of John Tyson and South Thompson as to if we're working on right turn lanes there. I'm just inquiring as where we're at on that or if that got approved.
Right now, Ben's not here tonight, is he? We've hired engineers for that project, haven't we, Colby? Or have we selected one yet? I think we have. I think they were in that large group of engineering projects we selected. So they're starting their work.
They're working on it.
They're starting their work.
Okay, great. Just wondering where we were at on that.
All right, thank you. I can't tell you when actual construction would start. There's a few things have to be done first, but we're moving forward on it. Thank you, Elizabeth. Working on survey. Thank you, John. All right. All right, any other comments? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. Council, you've had time to look over the minutes. If there are no additions or changes, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item 6, procedural motions. What's your pleasure, council?
I'll move for both A and B.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second for both A and B. Roll call, please.
Powell.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Watson. Overton.
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey. Harriman.
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Carries 8-0.
Great, thank you. And Anna, I think now would be a good time. Want to meet me at the podium? How are you this evening?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for
Sorry for
having
the
me.
mix-up.
No, you're good.
All right, everyone, this is Anna Claire Hay, and this is going to be fun because it's Anna Claire Hay Day. So, but anyway, it's my privilege to read this proclamation, and then we certainly want to give you an opportunity to say anything you want to say. All right? All right. Whereas Anna Claire Hay was born and raised in Northwest Arkansas and is a graduate of Shiloh Christian School. She's currently attending the University of Arkansas, majoring in exercise science, and plans to attend medical school after graduation. And whereas in July, Anna Claire was crowned Miss International 2023. The Miss International competition showcases accomplished young women from all over the world with an emphasis on community service. And whereas Miss International was developed 30 years ago to have higher standards than other pageant systems and to showcase women 19 to 30 years old, each contestant competes in interview, evening gown, fitness wear, and fun fashion. And whereas over the next year, Anna Claire will be promoting her personal platform, The Power of One, which aims to promote the positive effects of mentorship, inclusion, and empowerment of the modern woman. Her goal is to serve in as many outlets as possible and to show Northwest Arkansas, the U.S., and the world that pageantry is more than a crown and a sash. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Doug Sprouse, Mayor of the City of Springdale, do hereby proclaim October 24th, 2023 as Anna Claire Hay Day in Springdale, Arkansas, and express how proud we are to have her represent Springdale, the state of Arkansas, the United States, and the world as Miss International. And we should all join her in promoting her platform, The Power of One. Anna Claire, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Would you like to say anything? What's up to you?
I'll just quickly say thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. I started competing in pageants at the age of 4, and so just standing here today is a really full circle moment. But also the city of Springdale has really fostered me into the woman that I am today, and I'm so incredibly thankful for that. From graduating at Shiloh to being a part of the Springdale Youth Council, there are so many incredible experiences that I can relate right back here to my hometown of Springdale. So I'm extremely thankful and super excited for the rest of the year to be able to promote Northwest Arkansas.
Great, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're at item 7, Springdale Chamber of Commerce Quarterly Report. Jay is here. Jay, it's all yours, buddy.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and guests. So my name is Jay Seago from the Springdale Chamber of Commerce, and I got the third quarter economic development report. We are in the final days of closing on a relocation and expansion project that's going to bring 100 new jobs to Springdale. We have 8 other business projects that are in varying stages of the process. More than 42,000 people were employed in Springdale at the end of August, which is an increase of 1,700 since the first of the year. Unemployment rate remains low at 2.2%. The October sales tax receipts just totaled over $2 million, which is up 4.5% year to date. We still have an active construction timing. We have 23 commercial permits and 185 residential permits issued this quarter. The Chamber is in the late stages of finalizing a series of workforce development videos that I plan to share during my next report. Also, the Chamber, with multiple state partners, is promoting the 2024 Draft Day event here in Springdale that's going to be in April. Over the past quarter, we've completed 24 local business visits, and this discusses how they're doing, along with expansion and growth opportunities. Looking at construction and what's going on, Central States Manufacturing anticipates breaking ground on a new steel manufacturing facility soon. This project's going to bring 75 jobs to Springdale. The Children's Safety Center will celebrate its grand opening and ribbon cutting event on December 12th. At Turnbow Industrial Park, both Shiloh Fence and Gate Supply, as well as Profab LLC, they've got ongoing construction projects for new facilities, both targeting opening in 2024. At the Kendrick Industrial Park, Powers of Arkansas continues construction, and Frito-Lay Distribution Center was granted occupancy late last week, and their new facility has capacity for up to 50 new employees. So pending your questions, that concludes my brief.
Okay. Any questions for Jay? Or comments? All right, thanks, Jay. All right, next, we're privileged tonight. Besides Jay, we've got two other presentations that are going to be very informative, not only for the council, but for our residents. So we'll move on to item 8, Downtown Springdale Alliance, and your quarterly report, Jill.
Good evening, council and mayor. Thank y'all for having us here again tonight. I'll start out, IT is going to start the website up here in a minute, but I'll start with some information beforehand. We've hosted 18 events this year. We have exceeded our attendance in all of those. We have been conducting a survey of attendees for these businesses. I'm going to share just a few of the statistics with you from these different events. We ask in this survey, how far are you from the event? Are you walking distance, driving distance, or biking distance? Driving was 43% of attendees surveyed, 33% in walking distance, and 20% were in biking distance of the event. Most of them heard about our events through Facebook and Instagram. The next one was word of mouth and the Downtown Springdale newsletter, local news, and others, in that order of most to least. We asked them if they were familiar with the outdoor dining district, just trying to find out over the last 3 years, are we promoting that and what is the education and awareness of that? 68% surveyed said they were aware of the outdoor dining district and the compostable cup, specifically the compostable cup project in that. We also asked, did they frequent a business while they were in town for the event that they were attending? And over 85% of them said yes, that they attended some business or another while in downtown. So that was a really interesting statistic to get, recognizing that our events are spurring economic development and putting feet on the street and people in our businesses. So that's always good news. If the person in IT, can y'all scroll the up just a little bit more? Okay, this is a website that came out of doing the master plan update. We did that in 2015 originally. We worked really hard, we accomplished a lot, and then we redid it in 2021. But we didn't really have a place to go to online to talk about the story of the revitalization of downtown Springdale. And I think you'll all agree with me that we have one of the most interesting downtown revitalization stories that's happening in the country right now. And it's worthy of being told. So this website was developed as a reflection of the master plan update that many of you contributed to. Over 1,800 residents contributed to the development of that master plan. And we have updated a really good plan. A lot of communities, when they go to update the plan, they take the existing plan, say that didn't work, they put it in the trash, and they start over. We were very fortunate to have had great leadership in this city for a long time, and we got to do a really great update on that master plan in 2021. What you will find on this website, and before I get too far, the way to find this website is go to the Downtown Springdale website, go up to the tabs across the top where you see events and about us and things. There's a tab called growth, and that will take you directly to this website. This website will be updated on a very regular basis. The first tab you see is what have we done. When you open that, don't open it right now, we don't have time for that, but when you open that, you will see some of the projects that have already been completed and the story of those projects. Maybe it's the funding, maybe it's who did the development, maybe it's the design accolades of that particular event. Those type of things will be updated and will continue to be added to on the what have we done. What is currently underway? A lot of people want to know what's happening in downtown Springdale. Now they have a place where they can go and visit this information so you can see the projects that are underway. One of the projects that you'll see on there is the Luther George Park, and updates will be given to that. As we get closer to time, we know more about the ETA of opening, we will update those type of events. And then the last one is what is in store. What's coming next? The Senior Adult Center is featured on that. We will talk about how the bond issue that the citizens of Bryant support with such a huge percentages, what those funds are going to, so they can see that live as it's happening between the events. All of the information that we put on this website is received directly from the owner, the developer, the property owner. We are not creating content. We are simply sharing content that is given to us by the voice that it should be coming from. If you'll scroll up just a little bit more, you will see on this website information about what is a master plan. So people can go and they can review what is a master plan, why is it important. They can actually, there's a link specifically to the master plan. Scroll up a little bit more. Why it matters. See the master plan in action, and you scroll up a little bit more. This page will be updated on a regular basis. In the last month or two, since this website's been developed or our master plan's been developed, this page has already becoming out of date. So it will be updated and show what is being accomplished and what is the priority of things that we're getting done throughout our master plan. Keep going, scroll down a little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit more, keep going. There we go. Then you have the seed district is on here so that we can start better educating people about, and citizens of Bryant, property owners, what the seed district means to them and that expansion and how the master plan overlay district falls on that. And the trail access development plan, that is really important to a lot of people. How are we connecting West Springdale to East Springdale? People can find that there. And then the opportunity zones. We all know that the opportunity zones really put gas on a fire that was already burning pretty good, and we're very fortunate to have those. So we can tell that story there. We can go to the state website, and hopefully very soon we will have some of our projects featured on the opportunity zone website at the state level. Do y'all have any questions? I went through that really fast. When you get home, you can spend some time reviewing that. And just know, we just launched it. There's a lot of information that is not on there, but we will continue to update that for you. Some of our developers and investors for downtown Springdale have previewed this website. They've given us input for it. And the feedback that we've gotten is it is really going to help them to talk about what is happening in downtown Springdale and the work that they're doing and show other projects too. Any questions?
I really appreciate the website because I was actually asked this past week about my top 10 things to talk about in Springdale for an area developer or a developer that was wanting to move into the area on why you should choose Springdale. And I was able to shoot this over and some stuff from the chamber, and it was very nice to have, so appreciate that.
I'm glad you already found it. We just launched it last week.
Yeah, I was at the meeting, so I knew about it. It was great.
Good, good.
And Mr. Overton, I'm not sponsoring any bicycle races, okay? I was counting on a T-shirt.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jill. That's good stuff. Thank you. All right, item 9. Terry Trotter is here from the Jones Center. Terry, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. It's nice to see you all. I appreciate you having me this evening. Happy to be here with numerous members of the Jones Center team. If you haven't met our team, I hope you get a chance to meet some of them. We've got folks that have been around for years and years and some brand new people, and it's really an awesome team. I am very blessed to work there. But love the opportunity to meet you all and talk a little bit about what's happening. Really exciting to follow Jill. We love everything that's going on with downtown Springdale and think that we have some exciting things as well that will complement the amazing efforts happening right now in our city. Because there's a lot brewing on the east side right now. So you may or may not be aware, Jones Center is coming up on its 30th anniversary. It seems really hard to believe, but that is a true fact. And we continue, I think, to fulfill Mrs. Jones' desire that we make our community better by helping everyone to enjoy a higher quality of life. Just a couple of quick facts for you that you may or may not know. We are the only ice rink in Northwest Arkansas in about a 2-hour region. We have over 500 hockey players between the youth, the adults, the university. It's an incredible group of folks. We have national figure skaters who have trained at the Jones Center. We teach thousands of kids from Springdale to swim each year. We have workout, health and wellness programs, senior fitness programs. This past summer, we doubled our camp attendance, had over 1,000 kids participating in summer camps. And what was really interesting, we broadened those camp offerings and we found that our science and technology camps just went like hotcakes. Everybody wanted those. So we're continuing to grow programming in areas like that. So lots going on at the Jones Center. But in addition, the Jones Trust, who is our parent company, also provides really critical services here in Springdale and in the region. We have almost 100 nonprofits who reside in our facilities, either in Springdale or in Rogers. We subsidize their rent to the tune of almost $2.5 million each year. In addition, the Jones Trust provides scholarships, admissions, subsidies to families and individuals, and we do about $200,000 of subsidy each year to, again, ensure Mrs. Jones' vision that everyone can have access to these great amenities. So, really incredible work going on down the street, but as we look forward, we want to continue to ensure that we are stewarding the assets that the Jones left to Springdale. Now, most of you probably know Harvey Jones. I don't know how well you know his whole story, but I think it's so fun to read about everything that Harvey Jones did in our community. He's truly an original Northwest Arkansas trailblazer. As one of our first big thinking innovators, he laid a foundation really for what we are as modern day Springdale. He started a transportation company with a wagon and a mule going between Springdale and Rogers. And by the 1950s, he had built the largest trucking company in the United States. And really, that kind of put that first cog in the wheel for becoming a logistics capital of the world. It's an amazing story. And we are following, I think, on that bold, innovative, inclusive leadership with the Jones Trust as we re-envision the use of that original Jones truck line plant. And so I'm here to share with you tonight how we are thinking about a brand new entertainment amenity to add to downtown Springdale. And so with that, I want to introduce you this evening, perhaps, there we go, to the JTL Green. All of the titles that you will hear me talk about tonight are working titles. That means they very well may change. This is how we're talking about this as we move forward. But what you're seeing here represents basically the concept for the development of the 54 acres of land that the Jones Trust owns, which stretches from Berry Street to 265, bordered on the south by Emma and on the north by Huntsville. Most of this area right now is pretty underdeveloped. So our plan is to create a brand new destination attraction featuring activities, amenities, programs, and services that are unique to the region and that complement the city's investment in this downtown and draw people from all over Springdale, from all over Northwest Arkansas and beyond to the Emma Avenue corridor. So the JTL Green has really 4 key activation zones. And each of these zones has amenities and programs within it. So first we have our downtown gateway, which essentially connects downtown and Emma Avenue to the campus. We move into then Curiosity Alley, which is a science, technology, arts, and craft-based learn, play, and challenge space, which also highlights the forward-thinking sustainability efforts that we'll be putting into this brand new campus. The Jones Center and our action sports area adds to the amenities that exist at the Jones Center and enhances all of the outdoor sports, action sports areas. And then our Meta Trail and socializing and entertainment spaces guide people through the campus, move them from downtown onto campus and around the campus, and provide additional spots for gathering, for socializing, and for entertainment. The JTL Green will truly be unique in Northwest Arkansas. We are working really hard to create it as an indoor-outdoor destination, a place where people can come for entertainment, for recreation, for sports, for socializing, and for learning. So the JTL Green concept came out of a design excellence grant from the Walton Family Foundation that we're completing now. As we started into the development phase of this grant, we engaged very deeply with our friends and neighbors around the Jones Center campus. We had over 80,000 interactions with social media And we had over 2,000 people who completed surveys about what they would like to see on our campus and in downtown Springdale. So, having all of this data, we really worked to program around that feedback with this new campus vision. So as you can see here, people really wanted to see more diverse activity on our campus that kind of complements all of the incredible activity and growth that's going on Emma Avenue. They wanted to be able to gather, they wanted to be able to eat food and drink and be with friends and be entertained. So this is really what we've worked on as we've created this plan. So the JTL Green entry experience and welcome experience connects people into the downtown at Berea and Emma Street. As you can see on the screen at the bottom, currently the Jones Trust buildings on Emma Avenue are primarily used for nonprofit office space. So what we've been doing as part of this project is working with our nonprofit partners to reorient those buildings to maximize both public space on Emma Street and also to make the user experience for the nonprofit clients better by creating more easily identifiable and accessible entrances to the nonprofit offices through the doors that face the parking lot in the rear. That way we are able then to activate the front areas along Emma Avenue to continue that downtown experience, you know, where people are walking, where they can stop in, they can visit. So one of the things that we plan within that is a welcome center that takes place in Harvey Jones' actual original office so that we can have some history of the Jones truck line, do some rotating local art, and we're also working towards an indoor-outdoor cafe and event space at the east end of that building. So a nice pedestrian walkway through there. Curiosity Alley is a new signature amenity, which is a full-body, interactive, science-based exhibit and challenge space that inspires curiosity and experimentation through play and fun for youth, and particularly targeting tweens and teens, as well as adults. The garage, which is our primary amenity on the space, is located on the east side of the JTL building, and it will feature hands-on exhibits that push kids' minds and bodies to think about and explore how our physical world works. So from experimenting with skateboarding tricks by better understanding the physics of speed, to perhaps thinking about how we can better conserve and manage water runoff within our city. The garage will be the safe space where kids and teens can have fun, can be kids, but can also learn about the physical world and learn to think more creatively within that process. The rain garden, which you can see up there in front of the space, is a key piece of our sustainability plan for the campus. That is the low point of campus where all the water runs into, and will help us to model stewardship of resources on the campus. The tool shed, which will be located out back in our old tire barn building, will be an industrial maker space. So this is like a community workshop where visitors of all ages can learn technical and critical thinking skills through classes and open studios. It'll be outfitted with small tools, woodworking equipment, welding and small metals, and maybe even something like glass blowing. The Jones Center and Action Sport area lies along 265. That, as we get busier that way, makes a lot of sense. The Runway Bike Park, which exists now, is going to be reinvented with a natural Ozark landscape, as well as a new Marlon Blackwell designed shade and event pavilion. And we are also considering the potential of a ribbon-style skate park on the north edge of the campus. One thing that is not currently part of the campus plan, but that we're also working on, is a feasibility study to look at the construction of a second ice rink. I say that because with 2 ice rinks, the Jones Center and Springdale could become a host for regional ice hockey tournaments. And we can't do it with 1, but with 2 we could. And I think that would be a pretty incredible opportunity, both for our players, but also for the city of Springdale. Right now, we just send everybody to St. Louis and to Dallas and to Kansas City.
I think you've just answered my question, but I was going to ask where are the closest?
Those are them.
Okay.
Yep. There's one in Tulsa, but they only have 1 rink, and it just got built.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is pretty exciting. So we're looking at that. And then in addition to the outdoor areas, the Jones Center itself is getting some new amenities as well. So we are looking at a climbing wall as well as a bouldering area, creating a place where people can learn to climb. And then locker rooms will be upgraded, and we're looking at some new spa-like wellness amenities to be added as well. And then finally, the Meadow Trail. This takes its name from the meadow sticks, which are used for navigation within the Marshall Islands. And the Meadow Trail weaves the campus together for pedestrians and for bike riders from downtown all the way through the campus. Now, the center of the campus houses our large gathering spaces, so for events and entertainment, including our great lawn, some new covered basketball courts, and then the Round. This space is a controlled access, multi-purpose outdoor space that can be used for things like summer camps and kids classes, outdoor play spaces that's enclosed, but also for things like private events, weddings, even ticketed concerts and live performances for up to 2,500 people. So a very fantastic and flexible entertainment space. So this is the Jones Center as it exists now, and on the land that the Jones Trust currently owns. And this is how it will look when we see our vision of the JTL Green come to life. And as I close, I want to share with you what we call and think about all the time, which is our why. Other than this being spectacularly beautiful, why is this important? And we really feel that we owe it to all that Bernice and Harvey did to our community to continue their legacy of serving and using our resources to their absolute highest potential. So turning this 54-acre property into a beautiful, sustainable urban oasis with programming and amenities that bring people into our unique downtown will have huge impact for all of us. Further, though, through the Jones Trust, with their work with nonprofits and with providing ticket subsidies and scholarships for activities, Springdale and the JTL Green can really model what it means to be an inclusive destination. And I think that is incredibly exciting for all of us. So we are super excited down on the east end of town here about the JTL Green project. I hope that you all are as well. I would really look forward to working with you, to answering any questions, to being engaged in any way. Appreciate all of our partnerships with the Chamber and DSA. So with that, thank you so much.
Any questions for Terry?
Yeah.
Did you mention anything about art and music for children? I couldn't.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that I specifically mentioned it, but we actually we've started a new program right now that we call Fam Jam. And Fam Jam is a day-long program, 1 month, or one Saturday of the month that includes art making, it includes physical activity, it includes performances specifically targeted at families. So we've also created some new art camps during the summer. So yes, that is a key focus for us as well.
Excellent. With the closing of the Art Center of the Ozarks, I was hoping that somebody would pick up that missing piece, and we appreciate that.
Thank you very much,
Great.
Terry.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're ready for item 10, our Planning Commission report and recommendations. Patsy Christie, Director of Planning and Community Development.
The first item on the agenda is a replat of lots 13 through 16 of Block 7, creating lots 25 and 26 of the Burt Watson addition. Planning Commission reviewed this replat, recommends approval. The title of the ordinance reads an ordinance accepting the replat of lot 13 through 16 of Block 7, creating lots 25 and 26 Burt Watson addition to the City of Springdale, Arkansas, declaring an emergency.
Move resolution pass.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any other questions or
Actually an
comments?
ordinance, though. It's actually an ordinance, not a resolution. Well, it's an ordinance.
No, it's, our agenda says ordinance. I don't know what it says in the packet.
Okay, the ordinance, It is an ordinance.
Move the resolution be adopted then.
Move the ordinance be adopted.
Is it okay with you if we had?
No, I
if we-
think I'll pass on all of ordinance.
We just want to make sure this gets done and gets filed.
All right.
Okay?
We do have a motion and a second on the
Okay.
ordinance. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Jeff, is this any of your folks? Okay, I never knew where Watson Street and all that came from. Oh, okay, well, all right. Well, you had a chance, yeah. All right. Anybody in the audience need to comment on this? All right. Denise?
Williams,
Yes.
Watson. Overton,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey, Harriman,
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Powell,
Yes. Move the merger clause be adopted.
Second.
Watson, Overton,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey, Harriman,
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
About the ordinance and emergency clause, carry 8-0.
And it has an emergency clause because there's pending action. Okay. The next item is a resolution concerning a conditional use for a mobile vending in a commercial district at 3389 North Thompson. Planning Commission has reviewed this conditional use request and recommends with the following conditions. Parking and loading areas has to be identified, may operate between the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. only. Maintain on the site a minimum of 3 parking spaces designated for their use. If a health certificate is required, display the health certificate in a manner visible to customers. No obstruction of pedestrian or motor vehicle traffic flow. No vending upon a public way. No sound devices that produces a loud and raucous noise in violation of city ordinance or violate any other city ordinances in connection with the vending operation. They must keep the vending site clean and free of paper refuge of any kind generated from the operation of their business. All trash or debris accumulating within 20 feet of any vending stand collect and deposit into a trash container. Submission of approved gray water disposal by Springdale Water and submission of an approved grease disposal method approved by the Arkansas Department of Health.
Patsy, that's on a corner. I was at the planning commission meeting, but I'm trying to remember the cross street. Where's that at on Thompson?
Yeah, 3369 is just,
That's not county line, is it?
No.
Okay,
no, it's not county line.
okay.
Is there a reason that they are not going to be included in the food courts that we have?
Well, you know, you mean the food truck court on, yeah, I mean, it's usually full. And this is one that is looking to operate at this location as a conditional use, which we still allow for one, but they have these conditions they have to meet in order to be at this location. And it's granted to this food truck at this location only. They can't move it around. They chose this as the location they want to go to.
So why is the gray water disposed by Rogers Water Utility?
Well, I think the ordinance says, or the resolution says Springdale Water. I think we got to carry over, they got corrected. We had one previously that they were taking the water to Rogers to dispose of. They have to have a company that picks it up, and they have to show us that they have a permit to dispose of that gray water in a permitted site. We're going to have one coming up that they go to Van Buren, and one going to Fort Smith. So they can take it anywhere as long as it is a permitted site, and we have all that on file, that that's what they're doing with it. Okay?
Are the other businesses surrounding that, are they aware of what?
They all get notified by certified mail when the application is submitted. And then we hold a public hearing and allow for anyone to make comments. I think the only comment that we received on this is someone who doesn't like food trucks anywhere. So,
No, I didn't go look. I didn't Google it.
yeah.
Okay, so it's further north from county line.
Further north than Straits Lawn and Garden, on the other side of the road.
Is that Morris, maybe?
Yeah, West Morris is right below it. I don't know how old this map is, but it looks like there's some opportunities for some cleanup around the
Well,
neighbors.
I think some of that has been cleaned up. When we get these kind of things in, it gives us an opportunity to go out and look at some of these sites.
I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any other comments or questions? Does anyone in the audience need to speak to this? Okay, Denise?
Overton,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey, Harriman,
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Williams. Watson.
Carries 8-0.
The next item is a request for a waiver of a sidewalk being constructed or being required in conjunction with a single-family dwelling being built at 117 Purcell Street. This is one that was done with form-based code. It was one of our first infill projects. They're asking for a waiver of installation of the sidewalk. The Planning Commission reviewed this request and recommends denial of the waiver of the sidewalk. It's kind of our position that we want to build sidewalks in downtown as many times as we can, because sooner or later, we're going to get them all connected. And the Planning Commission recommended denial of the, is the property owner here? Yeah, he's here. I think he wants to address y'all.
Sure, come on up.
Hello, everyone. My name's Casper. I'm the owner of this property. And as Ms. Christie did mention, it is an infill project. It's located on Purcell Street, which is just down, a couple blocks from here. It's real close to downtown. And I understand that we all have a desire to have walkability and, great connectivity in the downtown area. The reason I'm asking for this waiver is just simply because it's a small 30-foot stretch of sidewalk that would be built. It doesn't connect to anything. And it seems unlikely, looking at the properties next to it, that in anything that we could consider the near future, it would be connected. To my knowledge, I don't believe that there's, current plans to do big street improvements on that street that would connect it to Emma or the other cross streets. But so that's the reason I'm requesting a waiver. It's just, I think it's sort of a sidewalk to nowhere, and I don't know that it would really serve the goals that we all have.
I'm sure the Planning Commission brought up bill of assurance or.
We offered the opportunity to do a bill of assurance or payment in lieu of. He wanted us to take action on the waiver request at all. And though there may not be any projects on today's horizon, look at what's going on in downtown. I don't know that anybody would have predicted 3 years ago what's going on now. We're going to have infill projects. Push the button.
What triggered this? Why are we dealing with this tonight?
It is a new single-family home as an infill project. And they are, as an infill project, it was a lot that did have a structure on it, I think, and it got torn down and it was being built back. He put a duplex on it as an infill project.
So what are we looking at in this picture?
That's what's being built. That you see that portrait on the front is what he's put on the front of it. It's built to the new.
It's the construction in the background, not the light.
Right.
Where those trucks are, is where the sidewalk.
It's where the sidewalk would go, yes. And we're going to have infill projects, and we're going to have opportunities to build pieces of sidewalk at a time. And yes, it doesn't connect to anything today, but I think we got to start somewhere.
Kind of the whole idea is to build sidewalks as, just because it doesn't connect to another sidewalk, the goal is that someday it would connect to another sidewalk.
I agree. We had all those discussions. He wanted the Planning Commission to take action on his request to grant the waiver. The Planning Commission denied it.
So there's no other requirements other than the sidewalk, like curb or anything like that?
Correct. Because it's a single-family home, the only requirement is the sidewalk, not the street improvements. And quite honestly, when we look at areas in downtown, we may not do a lot of street widening because we kind of lose something in the neighborhoods if we do all the street improvements. But sidewalks are still necessary for people to have a way to walk around. And we want this to be a place that you can walk around.
Just looking at this picture, it looks like that building that's being built on the front is awful close to the street. Is it?
It meets the new form-based code requirements. Remember, we have a build to line, not a setback line. And the idea is to bring those structures closer to the street, and the parking's in the back.
I move the resolution pass option number 2.
What's option number 2?
Second.
Okay.
Correct.
Let me ask one question, and I know I've asked this before, but I'm not sure. it may be a case-by-case thing. The reason I sometimes like payment in lieu of or bill assurance is in situations like this, and this may be something John can help with, Patsy too. I just want to be sure if we're making them build a sidewalk that doesn't connect to anything on either end, that we're putting it in the place that's going to stay.
Right.
That we're not asking them to build something that's going to have to get torn up and moved for some reason.
Well, we'll work out the location so it doesn't have to be moved. Yes, but.
That can be done. That's my
Can be
point.
done, yes.
Okay.
And it may have to go out around that power pole that's there, but we put sidewalks around power poles all over everywhere. The option to do payment in lieu of, we gave him that option and we wouldn't be here, but he wanted to ask for the waiver. So that's why we're here with this today.
Motion, Mike, is to deny the waiver. Okay.
So talking about those utility poles, when we're doing this work in downtown, are we going to try to eliminate those overhead power poles like it so it can be more walkable in those areas?
Well, we take on some at a time. There's a lot of power poles downtown, and it's going to take a while to address that because we have some streetscape work now that we're looking at putting the power poles down.
When we're doing those projects, Brian, we try and get them underground.
And if it's a bigger project, if it's building several apartment complexes, if it's a line of a certain size, they have to put it underground. But we don't put that burden on a single infill project like this to put the utility underground.
And the other thing is, since that is so close to the roadway, and that's a very short roadway, do we want vehicles parking on our sidewalks?
Well, he has parking on the side of his structure. He got a waiver to put, or a variance to reduce the number of parking on the side of his building. So we don't anticipate he would be parking in the street.
Well, there'd be an ordinance against parking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay, and so when I went there today, the house just to the south of them, I mean, several vehicles there.
The White House?
Yep, that would be blocking, especially blocking down through there.
Well, we have those situations that we have to address as we move through redevelopment and re-education and that kind of stuff too. You gotta push the button, Jeff.
How do you see that sidewalk working, Patsy? Is it going to be touching the pavement or set off the pavement?
You're asking me to do the design that hasn't been done yet. Once we determine whether he has to build it or not, we'll get with engineering, figure out how to put it in there. I mean, we're not gonna go through all that trouble until we know we've got to he has to build a sidewalk.
Right.
I don't have to push the button.
This isn't the first time tonight I've done that. We got a motion on the table. Is there any, and we do have a second? Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the second. Other questions then? I wouldn't have interrupted if I'd known we had a second.
I don't have a question, but I would like to see this just be consistent. If we're going to be doing this on this, I want it to be consistent throughout downtown.
Well, I can tell you the other project that we approved over on Price, they were required to put a sidewalk in.
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone in the audience? Sure. Please come to the mic.
Once again, I'm Elizabeth Caldwell, 30-year resident of Springdale. And of course, I am concerned about habitability. We do have a lot of properties in Springdale that are quite frankly, I don't even want to say the word, but are you willing, as building a duplex, to maintain habitability standards? I know the state of Arkansas does not require anything, but as a concerned citizen, every time I see something being built around here, I want to know that the landlords and property owners are going to actually take care of that property.
Yeah. Shall I answer? Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just want to be clear, I work as I'm professionally trained as an architect. I've been here about 4 or 5 years now, and I married a woman from this area, so I intend to be here probably until the day I die. This project's a labor of love for me. This isn't a project where, I'm I'm not here asking for this waiver because I want to save every possible penny on this project. I'd be happy to invite members of the committee to come view this project inside and out when it's all finished. Members of the planning committee as well. This isn't a place where I'm trying to cut every corner. It's a matter of, what's the best way to develop a sidewalk, essentially. As far as I'm concerned, my intention with this property is to own it until the day I die and to pass it on to my kids and hopefully my grandkids. I've built it in a way that's very durable. I've used products that are, of a higher grade than I think the typical builder would use. I've given a lot of thought to the design. I'm fairly certain that this will be far, far, far more efficient than the average new built home in this area. We've got fully enclosed spray foam insulation throughout. We've got all sorts of passive energy systems in here. I have a variable rate air conditioning unit that will save energy. All these ideas of being a good steward are certainly considered, so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that 10 years down the road when my grandchildren are inheriting my property, that's not going to turn into another Springdale slum property.
Yeah.
No, that's certainly not my intention. I didn't get into this to do that.
All right, thank you.
That's great news. Thank you.
All right, roll call, please.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey,
No, ma'am.
Harriman,
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus,
Yes.
Powell,
No.
Williams,
No.
Watson, Overton,
Yes.
Carries 5-3.
Yeah, you did throw me off. Some of those surprised me. I'm wondering if everybody knows what they were voting on. I hope so. All right?
So he has to take this back through. He has to put a
Yes,
sidewalk.
put a sidewalk in now.
Would you like to meet about the location? Yeah, wonderful.
Call the office and set a time.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we move Amelia Williams, Chairman of the Finance Committee. It's to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have 3 items on the agenda. The first one is item A in a resolution authorizing the execution of an engineering services contract for site design of the Springdale Senior Center, 2023 bond project number 23BSC1, presented by Ben Peters, who is not here. Presented by John
John gonna do it?
Easterling.
Yeah.
Hi, Mayor. Hi, Council.
John.
Ben's not here, obviously, so if you got any questions or about the contract for the senior center, just let me know.
Move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any other comments or questions? Anyone? Okay, roll call, please.
Bailey,
Yes, ma'am.
Harriman,
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Watson, Overton,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Carries 8-0.
Item B is a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract for architect services for the Springdale Public Library. This is going to be presented by Ann Gresham, the library director.
Good evening, Council. And just to refresh everybody, again, this is an architectural services contract for renovating our existing restrooms and enclosing our outdoor courtyard space to provide an additional programming space, primarily for families, but also for use by the public.
Move
And
the
I'm happy
resolution
to,
be adopted.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any other comments or questions? Anyone in the room? Okay, roll call, please.
Harriman,
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus,
No.
Powell,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Watson, Overton,
No.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey,
Yes, ma'am.
Carries 6-2.
Thank you, Ann.
The final item on the agenda is item C, a resolution authorizing payment of an invoice for project number 18 BPC 2/1, presented by Colby Fulfer, Chief of Staff.
Council, as you're aware, any invoices over $1 million have to have the approval by council.
Move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any other comments or questions? Anyone in the room? Okay, Denise?
Fugierus.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Watson. Overton.
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey.
Yes.
Harriman.
Yes, ma'am.
Carries 8-0.
That closes Finance Committee.
Thank you, Amelia. Item 12, Parks and Recreation Committee, Chairman Mike Lawson. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. We met last week. We had one item before us. I will go ahead and read it, and I'll turn it to Colby Fulfer. A resolution authorizing the execution of contract for lighting to waive competitive bidding and for other purposes as part of the 2023 bond project number 23 BPP2. Said it was recommended for approval.
As council knows, we adopted a new professional service called procurement consultant. We were successful in negotiating terms for our turf. It was very successful in getting the best value for our dollars, so we did the same with the lighting program. The original estimate that we had through our Parks and Rec was $2.78 million. And through this same procurement process, we were able to secure a contract in the amount of $1.963 million. We wanted to make sure, we don't just go for the lowest price on these, we want to make sure we get the best value. And that was what the determination was by the selection committee. We felt like this was the best value. Also in the negotiation, we were able to secure $100,000 from GEO. The same company who's doing our turf will be doing the lighting if you approve this. They also agreed to pay $100,000 towards LED scoreboards, score tables for the Parks and Rec Center as well. So
Move resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the resolution. Any other questions or comments? Anyone? Go ahead.
Colby, is that such a common practice, the fact that the procurement cost is being paid by the vendor or whatever you call it, right? Is that a common practice that they're very familiar with and don't balk at that, or how's that going?
We had no pushback from really anyone. I think we had 4 companies give us proposals, and they all included it in the price. Same thing with the turf. So it's probably not a common practice. It's just something we learned through going through the solid waste procurement process, that we thought that was a benefit to the city.
I think you're going to see, because we've been using it, I think we're going to see a lot more cities start using that.
Yes.
All right. Anyone in the room need to speak to this before we vote? Okay, Denise.
Powell.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Watson. Overton.
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey.
Yes, ma'am.
Harriman.
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Carries 8-0.
All right, thank you. Item 13, Police and Fire Committee, Chairman Brian Powell. Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. We had one item come before us last week, and it was forwarded with recommendation for approval. We get a new fire truck for Fire Station 10 will be upcoming. I'll read the resolution. Resolution to waive competitive bidding and to purchase a fire truck and related equipment, 2023 bond project number 23 BPF2. And Colby's here if you have any questions.
Move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the resolution. Any other questions or comments? Anyone in the room? Okay, Denise?
Williams.
Yes.
Watson. Overton.
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey.
Yes, ma'am.
Harriman.
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Carries 8-0.
Chief, I thought last year we voted to put a ambulance next to Harbor High School in that fire station. Does that ring a bell with anybody? Like, because we talked about putting one on the other side of the interstate at that fire station, and this may have even been before you were chief, but I found out that that ambulance is over, from what I could tell, across from the Holiday Inn. Is that correct? So we don't have an ambulance at the one next to Harbor?
That is correct, yeah. I'm not aware of any vote, and so evidently it was before I was chief, but.
Well, I was wondering because there was an incident at Harbor High School where we had a kid that got knocked out, and it took a long time to get the ambulance over there. And I asked where the ambulance was at that fire station because I thought that we voted to put it there. But does that?
I know we didn't vote to put it there, but that.
Well, I think that was the initial plan, but when we look at our response modeling, travel times and things like that, it makes more sense. It serves a greater area at 6 than it did at 7.
You got more rooftops closer by, more call volume.
That's correct.
Okay. So we've got 5 ambulances now.
Yeah, we have ambulances at 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And understand it, it's not as straightforward always as looking at how fast can we get one ambulance there, but how fast can we get the second ambulance somewhere, and how far each one has to go. And when one's out of its area, what's the likelihood we're going to have to backfill, and how long is it going to take to get an ambulance there? And so it's a complex, but not a perfect approach, but it's one that we think works the best.
I just wanted clarification because I thought that we staffed that one at that fire station when we hired the staffing for it. So I was just wanting clarification on why I wasn't there.
Okay. I do remember discussion, it was prior to Chief Holt, a discussion about, it may have been back when we were building 7.
Discussion about staffing and maybe hiring some new employees.
Well, of course, the staffing's the same wherever it is. I mean, the staffing number.
That's right. The employees were hired, it just, the ambulance we elected to put it at 6 rather than 7.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? All right. Item 14, I'm going to turn over to our city attorney.
Thank you, council. I think we can take items 14 and 15 together because they both have the exact same title. They just pertain to 2 separate addresses, one at 3632 Logan Heights, the other one at 2342 Waverly Lane. It's a resolution setting a hearing date on a petition to abandon a portion of a utility easement in the city of Springdale, Benton County, Arkansas.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve both 14 and 15, both resolutions. Any other comments or questions? Anyone? Okay, roll call.
Watson? Overton?
Yes.
Lawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey?
Yes, ma'am.
Harriman?
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus?
Yes.
Powell?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Both resolutions carry 8-0. Item 16, I'll read the title and then I'll provide the explanation as to why this is back. This is a resolution amending resolution number 147-23 to levy Washington County ad valorem taxes of the city of Springdale, Arkansas. The mayor actually bragged on Denise and her staff when we brought the annual ad valorem resolutions forward at the last council meeting. And after we passed that resolution, you know, we say around here, no good deed goes unpunished. We found out that in Washington County, there was actually a rollback that was required. So instead of 0.0047 mils, it's 0.0046. And this would affect that change.
Do we have to do away with the resolution that we previously passed, or we're just amending it?
It would automatically replace it. And it's only for it doesn't affect the one we passed for Benton County. It's just Washington County.
Okay.
Move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Other comments, questions? All right, roll call, please.
Overton.
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Bailey.
Yes, ma'am.
Harriman.
Yes, ma'am.
Fugierus.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Watson.
Carries 8-0.
All right, thank you. Item 17, after discussing with Colby, we added this. We thought we wanted to give you all an update. This doesn't really have to be a part of our budget discussion that's coming up because it's not really going to impact the budget this year. But we've made we're moving towards some really, I think great changes for our employees on our health insurance. And Colby's been working mostly on that with Gina from HR and Catherine from HR. And Colby, why don't you go ahead and let's give them a little update just so they'll know what's coming.
Sure. So we've been with Blue Cross Blue Shield for some years now. After back-to-back years of them approaching us saying that we were going to have significant increases, last year was 19% increase is what they proposed until we negotiated it down. This year they were saying 22.5% increase. So that caused us to look a little further into our other options, and not only are we going to be moving away from Blue Cross Blue Shield to another provider, we're also going to change the way we do our health insurance from a fully insured program to what they call self-funded. This is nothing new. This is something that a lot of larger cities do, a lot of larger corporations do. We went and looked back since 2016. When we write checks to Blue Cross Blue Shield, it's just a coverall where we send them a check and they do all their business, and then anything left over they get to keep and put in their pocket. So through self-funded and joining a captive, since 2016 we would have saved $3.3 million, and that's not including the RX rebates that we'll be receiving now too. This is a long-term play. This is nothing that we're going to see millions of dollars in savings next year. We're just going to change the trajectory of what we spend on health insurance. So in the end, our goal is to be able to save enough money compared to what we would have been paying with fully insured. We're going to save that into a restricted health fund, just like we have a park set-aside fund or Act 833. We're going to be bringing an ordinance to create a new fund for employee health. And then the money that we save will stay in that fund, and we'll be able to contribute more to premiums instead of always raising the price on premiums like we've been seeing with Blue Cross. This will steady it out and hopefully lower the premium cost. And even in the savings, if we save $2 or $3 million in the next 3 or 4 years, we could contribute more to the HSA accounts if we'd like to do that. So we're joining a captive, as Ernest and I like to say. We like to be on the cutting edge of things, but not the bleeding edge of things. But we will be the first city in Arkansas to join a captive. We discussed it with our city attorney and with the legal team at the Municipal League, and we are able to do this. We will now have the buying power of 815,000 individuals covered by an insurance company. So we're able to save substantially on our rates by doing this. So we're putting a lot more tools in the hands of all of our employees over their health care now. We'll have an app called HealthJoy. Everybody will be able to download. You'll be able to shop your RX, your prescriptions, find the best price. We're going to be having another tool called Valens Health, which is going to allow you to shop your imaging if you have to do any type of imaging, MRI, CAT scan, PET scans. It will help you find the best value for you, which will be less money out of your health savings account. We're basically taking all the work from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and our consultants are going to be doing a lot of the work for us now. And it's not going to increase the work on our HR department. But we're confident this is going to be a good move for the city and save millions of dollars in the long run.
You'll have more to come, but do you have any questions based on?
Does that, so it saves the city money, does it increase the out-of-pocket for the employees?
No, it does not increase the out-of-pocket. So compared to a 22.5% increase in your premiums, This year, you might, we haven't decided, depends on what we do with the funding of that health account. It might go up 5%, or if we pre-fund it, it might not be any increase to your premiums this year. But we're really tired of Blue Cross telling us you're gonna pay 19-20% more. Bethel Heights, Bella Vista. Theirs is going up over 30%. And so we already have the lowest premiums of the largest cities here, but we're still not satisfied with that. We want to keep lowering the expenses of our employees. And, you know, sometimes cities will just raise their pay. That's the easy thing to do. But what we also want to do is go in and try to find ways to reduce expenses for our employees. And then that way, when we do our raises and we get up to market pay and we lower expenses, we're helping them on both ends.
Kobe, the differential between our costs, are you going to be able to put that in an interest-bearing account that will continue to grow?
Our HSAs are not in an interest-bearing account, but the fund that we're going to establish.
That's what I mean.
Our city clerk is actually here who might know what type of account that would go into.
We'll have to research that, make sure we can make money on it.
Yeah. And so instead of just writing a check to Blue Cross Blue Shield for $5.3 million, we'll actually put that into that account. And as claims come in, we pay those individual claims out. But we also have the negotiating power to do that. We can't find out through Blue Cross Blue Shield. We just cannot get the data of where they ever negotiated on our behalf. We're going to negotiate these deals and try to get our spend way down. We think we'll save about $600,000 to $800,000 just in rebates from the drug companies. So all the money that we can save will go back into that account, which will benefit our employees. So all of our costs will be going down compared to the trajectory of where we're headed with Blue Cross.
Yeah, if we can, and this is a big if because we haven't done this yet, but we believe over a period of a few years, if we're able to continue to capture savings and build that account up, then we can pay a higher percentage of premiums for our employees, or maybe we can add more, contribute more, as Colby said, to their HSA every year. There are some things we can do besides just keeping the premiums as low as possible in trying to find other ways to help them. So, and this is not something that we just decided to do. We've been looking at this for well over a year. It was just that when you're facing a 22% increase in premiums, it's easier to make the jump. And everybody we've talked to, Colby's been to seminars nationwide seminars, not nationwide insurance, nationwide seminars, and along with Todd Setzer, our consultant with Brown & Brown. And Gina's been very involved in this in HR, and we think it's really a good move. But we just wanted to get y'all on the same page.
And to that, we did interviews with providers all over the country. We had our third-party administrators. We interviewed 3. We had them fly in from all over the country. I mean, we've had several people come in, our captives we interviewed, we had them fly in from Florida. So we've done our due diligence on this, and this was not just a fly-by-night decision that we made. So we put a lot of time into it, and we feel like this is the best decision for our employees.
Okay. Any questions for Colby? I'm sure there'll be more information. There'll be a lot of information going out. I don't know.
December 1st, we're going to be sending out a series of videos that'll address. We're going to do some Zoom videos where we'll have a panel that'll answer the top questions that are asked by our employees.
And that goes into effect January 1?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Any comments from council? City attorney?
No, sir.
I've only got one reminder. November 6th, Monday, is the day we've set aside for everyone to join and spend the day together with our department heads as we pour through the budget. We we are really working at getting the budget in your Dropbox this week, because we want you to have at least a whole week before that Monday. So I've gotten some side eyes, but saying we're going to get it by the end of the week, but I'm still holding to that. So that'll be in your Dropbox. We'll let you know when it's in there, and we will also have hard copies that you can either come by and get, or we'll be happy to bring them to you, if that helps. Yeah, you like yours delivered. Let us know what you want to bring with that. Yeah. All right, that's all I've got.
So moved.
We've got a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you all.